Shalom, 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 Israel. How y'all doing? Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. All right. Hey, we're here on the Straitway Truth Radio Broadcast. I greet each and every last one of you in the sweet, precious, and strong, victorious, and mighty, overcoming name of our Lord and Savior and our soon-coming King, Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus the Christ. Now, I'm blessed, and I'm honored and privileged to have my sister from across the pond with us here tonight on the Straitway Truth Radio Broadcast. All the saints on the land are listening to the broadcast, as well as there are more people coming in. And we bless each and every last one of you for being here with us tonight. We're going to get into a few situations. And what I mean by situations, I'm not talking about just what you call a sit rep or a sit rep report as far as what's going on per se, as far as the communities of the world. We're going to talk about the situations that we're all are concerned about, whether it be here in the United States of America or, he said, we feel better now, it's Sabbath, or across the pond. But, you know, we live in a very volatile world, no doubt about it. And times, can you take all this stuff off the desk, Carol? Times are changing quickly and fastly before our very eyes. Soon we'll be in Pesach, Passover, and Hamatzah, Feast of the Unleavened Bread. Hallelujah. Now, if y'all can hear me pretty good, just let me know. By way of online churches coming in pretty decent, let me know. You know, a 10 for and an O for online, a 10 and a B for Blog Talk. If it's not coming on so good, let us know right now before we get started into this broadcast, because we're going to cover a few things. Now, most of y'all are familiar with Sister Mya. She sent me a private message some months ago. I think it was at the end of February. And in that message, it was basically personally to me. You know, she was just thanking Yah for what has happened in her heart and in her life and her transformation that she has gone through over in England. And most of y'all are not familiar. We're going to, you know, everything that I know about, I'm going to put on blast. You know what I mean? I'm going to let y'all know everything else I know about it. Sister Mya comes from London, England. She's a Brit, just like we're Americans, if you want to call it that. And Sister Carol, I done tore another hole in my sock. There's a big one, too.
A big hole.
Boy, man, y'all, look at this big old hole I put in my sock. Look at that big old hole. Look at it. Sister Carol trying to pull it off my foot. Look, y'all, can y'all believe that? Man.
It's pathetic. Ew. Oh.
I'm trying to put a hole in my sock.
You need to match. You need to take these and that.
Yeah, now look at me. I got one sock on and
y'all pray for me.
one off.
Pray for me, saints. I'm praying.
Man, I got one sock on, one sock off. Poor Sister Carol.
Oh.
What about poor me? That's the beauty of everybody love about the broadcast and everything, because we just people.
Indeed, we're the same.
We just people. Hallelujah. Okay. Anyway, we got Sister Mya over here from the pond. Our Hebrew Israelite sister from England. She's a Brit. And Sister Mya, you know what she used to do? She used to be an actor. And she cut that stuff off after she come to the way of the Most High Yah too, keeping the Shabbat. So we're going to get into some of this. And not only that, if you want to talk to your sister, you know, the guest calling number is 310-982-4226. I'm a little hoarse because I've been up there hollering and screaming and shouting up there at music practice. We're getting ready to get geared up for the Feast of the Most High Yah. And so we're being very appreciative of what he's done for us. And I know that we're working on already getting 11 out of our hearts. But boy, I tell you, just to being able to understand what he's done with us by being the Passover lamb himself has just been something else for us. But anyway, Sister Mya, you're here on the Straitway Truth Radio Broadcast with your family here. Give us a little testimony. Give us a little testimony about how you came into this way, how life started with you in this walk. And just let the people get familiar with you as your sister. Many of these people who you see right here in this room are going to be here for Passover.
Fantastic.
They're going to see you. So go ahead and tell them a little bit about yourself.
Well, I came in the way by accident, actually. It was very much a throwaway comment. I was having coffee with a Christian sister of mine, because obviously I was Christian at the time, and I was an actress. And she just mentioned to me that, did you know that Jay-Z and Beyonce are Illuminati? I didn't care about Jay-Z, but I did like Beyonce. I was like, no, she's a good Christian girl. So I went home and I sort of looked at some blogs, and I came across a Vigilant Citizen, and it just laid it out clear as can be. My girl is demon-possessed, and their agenda and the New World Order. I was just like, wow. And so I was like, crumbs. So then I went to see, the next day I went to see my mom, and I saw my niece, and I was discussing that with her. And she's like, Auntie, if you think that is something, you want to go to YouTube. It's like all over there like a rash. Hence I went onto YouTube, and then it just snowballed. And I kind of started to think to myself, well, if that's the music industry, what is going on in the entertainment industry? Now, I was actually, I was a Shakespearean actress. I was training at the Old Vic Theatre as well as in productions. And, it just worked out that the bottom line is the gatekeepers are the Illuminati. They are the gatekeepers, and they keep it. And I didn't need anybody to give me that ultimatum or that thought, because I just was realizing I have to make a decision right here, right today. Is it Joshua who said, choose this day?
That's Joshua.
Choose this day. Well, it was very much a choose this day which side you serve. And so I clearly had to rethink being an actress. And it wasn't easy. You'd think actors are 10 and pennies, like one gives up. Well, hey, there's about 30 others that's going to take your place. But I found it very difficult to get out. My drama tutor, he was very adamant that I was quite ridiculous, and I have to rethink that, and he didn't want me to give that up, and it was hard to get out of the production that I was in. But nevertheless, the Most High found a way for me, and so I got out of that. And so how did I become a Hebrew Israelite is the question. I was just obsessed with the Illuminati. I mean, I would wake up, I was on YouTube, and I would be like, go to sleep, signing off YouTube. I was obsessed with knowing what all these people were up to and what their plan was. And it was whilst I was watching one of those things, I saw this little thumbnail with this black man like this. I was like, oh, he looks interested. And he said, Jesus was a black man. And I thought, okay, just for the heck of it, I have to click onto that just to see what this man is saying. And you were just yelling, banging the desk. I was like, I'm an actress, so I like an animated person. I like, that's passion. That person is alive. So of course I was like, wow, this guy is really cool. Really, really cool. I didn't really give much thought to it, and then there was a reply, because obviously you then said, do you know how much stuff came back? I'm a racist, this and stuff. So I clicked onto that one, and it just started that role, really. But I was already being shown the path from the Most High. I had already heard interviews from a man called John Todd. Anyone who knows anything about the Illuminati knows that he was, a family member of the Illuminati, and he came out of that. And he was talking about the music industry and how, they put demons on the master CD that follows the CD in your house. So if you've got CDs in your house for mainstream people, there's demons in your house.
Right.
So, and I'm the kind of person that when I heard that, I just clicked pause. I got every single CD. I ended up with 2. I had Mozart and Handel. That's all I had left. And I had loads of CDs. I had boxes. I boxed it all up, and we have these really industrial bins. I mean, you've got to throw it over like that. And when I did that, they bounced back out. The CDs.
They came back out.
Bounced back out. I was like, I don't think so. I was stamping on those things. I picked them up. You're going to go back in. You're going back in. But I'm really, once I hear the truth, I act on it. I'm not a kind of person who go, oh, what the? That sounds quite interesting. No, when I heard about the Christmas tree, oh my God, I paused that one. And I went to the room, I got the Christmas tree, the whole thing, and I was like, oh, it's going to come out of my house, oh my God, what is this? I got all the Christmas wrapping, if it had Santa Claus in it, or Satan Claus on it, it was out the house. If it was anything as a Christmas tree, it was out the house. And weeks later, I was finding books, Christmas recipes. Oh my God, it's still in my house. It's like unleavened. You think you've got rid of most of it. Right. You've swept, you've gone to the corners, you've got it out. And then you're relaxing. And then you look at your bookshelf and you're like, oh my goodness. And you pick out something that...
There's more.
And there's more. So it was it wasn't a long process. I think before I sent that a message to you, I think I was on a crash course. I mean, Father just put me on a crash course. I think I found out about this for about 3 weeks. Everything was happening rapid. Everything was rapid. So when my family were like, what do you mean you're going to see this man? I was like, oh, you have no idea. I'm on fast track. Literally the Matrix. Downloading. Not sort of like in bite-sized pieces. No, downloading.
No, you're downloading.
I'm downloading. So yeah, that's how I came to find my pastor. And I'm home, so yeah, that's how.
Isn't that beautiful? Is that not a beautiful story? Of course, many of y'all saw a testimony and stuff, and I put it out there because I know it brings encouragement, but then to see that she had already made plans. Now, that's something you didn't know, and I'm gonna let you know, Sister Mya. That's something that you just did not know.
Crumbs.
And you know what that was?
No.
What you didn't know is that there was already a few Israelites here when they heard your testimony, that they had sent to me a message and they had offered to pay for a round trip plane ticket for you and your son to come over here and visit. And I had to tell them, y'all, we're all a little late. She's already just made the plans. She's been talking to Brother Dowell and she's already on her way.
Oh, mercy. Oh my. You see, now my family, with the exception of my mother, who is wise, who said nothing, who was clearly concerned, but said nothing. She knows I'm a grown woman.
Right.
And she's like, well, I'm just going to eat whatever anxiety I have and just let my daughter do what she's doing, because she's a grown woman. My brother-in-law, my sisters, they all seem to feel like this is a cult and they have to protect me. And, because they were like, I thought, basically, we did not relax. And not even when we was on the plane in London. When the plane took off, we were like, okay, nobody can snatch us off the plane. We were in mid-air. Yep, we're in mid-air. I mean, I was so paranoid that they would have somebody at the other end that I was literally like, I'm not getting anything until I see identification. You better have identification, because I was like, I wouldn't put anything past them, so, and there's no way I was going to miss my destiny, so that's just where it was, really.
Now, let me see, how many days you been here already, do you know?
Crumbs, I came on that long thing, let's say the morning of the 24th, shall we? 24th of March.
So she's been here since the 24th of March, and today is the 30th,
yes.
Right? So you've been here with us just about a week.
Yes, I have.
Just about a week,
yes.
Right? And since you've been here straightway just about a week, of course, you do know that people, they do call us cult. They call us every name under the sun. We get every derogatory thing. You know what's amazing to me? What's amazing to me is that you get a people who separate themselves from the world.
Yeah.
We're in the world, but we're not of the world. We're following the Bible just like it says. Right. We're keeping the commandments. Mm-hmm. There's no fornication, no adultery, no lying, no cheating, no stealing, no backbiting, no drug use, no drunkenness, no whoremongering, and all this other stuff going on. And we keep the Sabbath day. We keep the feast of Most High Yah, and we live a holy, separated life, and yet they call us a cult. That is remarkable.
It is.
Now, you've been here with us for a week.
Yes.
All right? For a week thus far, and you still got a little ways to go.
Yay!
A little ways to go. So, what do you think about being here with us, living here with us for this week that you've been here?
Oh, well, it's just been a blessing upon a blessing, really, because I think you have the phrase here, but I'm definitely a fly by the seat of my pants girl. I'm, once I find something, I'm full on out. I mean, when I was an actress, I was going to go straight to the top. I was going to get an Oscar. I was right. I don't do anything half. I don't bother to do it. If I want to do it halfway, I didn't really want to do it. So I'm full out for everything that I do. So for me, being here, it's just been a blessing whenever you say something, I do it. As soon as you say it, I do it. I remember you were talking about Bragg's vinegar, and I could hear you, and I was on the other tab on Amazon. I was literally on Amazon, like going, okay, I can hear you, Patton, Bragg's vinegar. I'm literally that kind of a person. So when you're saying get out of the cities, that's my plan, to get out of the city. So that's what I will be working on when I go home. Good. Is to find an acre to half an acre to an acre of land in the country, and to build a tiny house. If you've seen them on YouTube, they're really cute, tiny. It's like a shed, really. It's basically a shed, so that's basically what my plan is to move out of the city and build a small house, very basic, and it's going to be very basic. It's not going to have all the I've got a lovely apartment. It's not going to be anything like that. So we're living in a lovely chalet, which is beautiful and warm and clean, but it's very basic. And it's exactly what I needed to have that training to live in the country. I was like, oh my God, I'm so blessed. Thank you so much. So we really have the experience now. It's not sort of like, so we know exactly what kind of toilet facilities, we know exactly what kind of washing facilities we need. And we know exactly what square footage we really need, because the point of having an acre of land is to live outside of the small,
right?
Yeah, so that's is to use the land and if you like to have shelter or to sleep in the tiny house. It's not to live like we live in our homes inside. That's why you need space. So if you have an acre of land, even half an acre of land, you've got plenty of room just to look at and to just be at peace. And so that's my next move.
So how have you liked your stay here Straitway thus far?
I just so love it. I love it. I can't bear the idea of... I don't even like anyone to say, when you're going back. I don't even want anyone to mention.
Don't want nobody to mention it.
Don't mention that. I can't focus on that.
Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to get into a little bit of what we call diversity here. And the diversity is we're going to do some comparisons. Myself, Sister Carol has lived in Europe. She was a young girl when she lived in Europe, and she lived in Europe for a few years when we were married. I lived in Europe 3 years.
Okay.
In Germany, and I visit France.
Okay.
London. I went in. One reason I went to France because I wanted to touch the Eiffel Tower to see if you would get any of those ooh and ahs, and I didn't get nothing.
You don't get that.
I didn't get nothing. Then I went and touched the Notre Dame. Right?
Okay.
Nothing. Still didn't get nothing. And I was like, man, this is a wasted journey. I could look at a picture and get the same. You understand what I mean? But I'm gonna bring this up because I want the people here in America who has never been outside of this country, never understand what it means about it, understand that there's a big old world out here, to let them see and understand. So there's one thing that Americans have a problem with, and that's eating a lot of food.
Oh.
We eat an enormous amount of food, and we act like we can't survive. I mean, believe it or not, I'm serious. Our plates are just, it's just unbelievable. Now, you notice when you got here at the community, we eat twice a day.
That's my perfect.
Twice a day. And of course, if people want some trail mix or banana or an apple or something like that, plenty of that stuff is available, you know what I mean? But what is the difference, in your own words, between the people in Europe and their portions? Let's just use London, where you're from, okay? And here in the United States of America from your experience.
Oh, well, this is not my first trip to America. I have been to New York and I have been to New Jersey. And I think my first trip to New York, I went to a place called Blimpies. And I knew that America's, it's bigger and better in America. So I knew that they would have some enormous sizes. So I said, can I have the child? I want the child. I just want the child sandwich. Yeah, so I ordered the meat and the whatever and all the toppings and stuff like that. And you order it and then it sort of goes down this production line and you pick it up at the other end. Well, there was this thing waiting for me at the other end, but obviously that wasn't my one. So I was like waiting, and my sister was like, are you going to pick it up and sit down and eat? And I was like, no, that's not my one. I ordered the children's one. And then the man goes, yeah, that's the child order. I looked at him like he had 15 heads. I was like, what child could eat that? I looked at it and I thought, crumbs, I could live off that for a week. I could section that off with water and some fruit. I could live off that for a week. A week, not a couple of days, a week. That was way back 1990 or so. So that's a way back. So it's got to have been worse now. I mean, that was proper food. Now you've got your pink slime and your stuff going on in your food.
Oh, yeah.
So I have no idea what that is like now. But in terms of what you would call a child's portion, that would be our extra in London. You know, we say if it's McDonald's, I say going large, which would be the burger stays the same. We don't have a double Big Mac or a double quarter pounder. I don't think anybody, that would be labelled as the most gluttonous thing, and it wouldn't go down very well in England. So we don't have any double quarter pounders, double Big Macs, we don't know, because the Big Mac is a Big Mac. It's called a Big Mac.
Yeah, Big Mac.
Yes, so that's a big sandwich. But it might have the big fries. But in America, you've got, I mean, this.
Super size.
Yeah, no, this is what you'd probably call like the massive fries. Well,
yeah.
I can't even give you an example of what I can't give you an example. Our big fries are, because the very small one is here, then the large is there, and then the bigger one is there. But it's really narrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I'm just quite amazed. You've got no chance of living in America if that's the things that you choose to eat.
Right. Exactly.
You've just got no chance, and if you feed that to your children, I would just say, just take them out into the back garden and shoot them. It'd be a lot better and easier and quicker and less painful than feeding them that stuff.
Now, we did a video earlier. We did a video here earlier, and of course, Sister Smith and them have gotten back. Sister Kathy, who you met while she was here, she's already back in North Carolina.
Okay.
So it looks like they made it home just safely. We did a video earlier to let the people know that we're going to be on tonight.
Okay.
All right. So right now, as it's saying, it's showing 49 guests in the blog talk. That's not including the people who are probably viewing on the online church.
Oh, okay.
Because it doesn't tally.
Right.
You know, the people.
Right.
Some of the people they listen to the blog talk as well as the online church.
Yes. Okay.
So there's probably a whole lot more. It's probably about maybe 150, 200 people watching right now. Probably more than that. It's going to continue to keep going up. But I'm kind of holding off on a few subjects because I wanted to make sure that a lot of people got into the room here.
Okay.
You know, and I look for certain names and stuff just to make sure that they're here.
Okay.
So we could talk about a few things. Now, but anyway, you had mentioned earlier, and we had left off with there's something must be in the water
has to be
here in America.
Has to.
Clarify. Bring some clarity.
Even when in London or in Europe, should I say, when we got the G9 or whatever, whatever, and they've got the we don't like anyone messing with our environment groups. I mean, it's all rubbish. We know that. But even when they start to meet up, the people just go, wow, we can't have that. We're going to protest. I mean, and that's not even infringing on their rights. Right. And they're straight up there. And then you've got the police with their riot gear and the people are just like, yeah. And it's like, we're on. And that's nothing that's actually going to affect our liberties. Mm-hmm. And we just won't. Okay, I'll give you an example. Tony Blair, when it was the MMR, so the jabs, right? And he wanted all the children to have that single jab with all those strains in it. And all the parents and everybody was like, no. If it is possible to have it separate, we want it separate.
Right.
And he just was not. He was like, it's safe, it's safe, it's safe, it's safe. So we were like, so we just went, because we're so smart, we were like, your baby Leo, did he have the 3-in-1 jab, or did he have it individually, or did he have it at all? And when Tony Blair said he didn't want to discuss his parenting skills,
right.
We were like, yes, well then we won't actually discuss that. We're going to take that. We're not going to take it at all. And they had to back down on that.
Because y'all would tear up the country.
We were like, okay, you don't have to discuss it. That's fine. We're not going to take it. And that's just the end of that. And that's just a jab. That's nothing to do with, by the way, the Parliament has just written a law that's going to come. It can just snatch you out of your house. You will have no legal representation. You will be held for as long as they want you to be held. And they will not notify anybody where you are, if they've got you, when they've got you. That could never happen in London. I mean,
but you see it happening here.
I'm listening to you. Yeah. I'm listening to Alex Jones. I'm listening to you people. And I'm like,
are you people crazy?
You've got guns. We've got our mouths and our attitude in London. We don't have they're there, but we don't. It's not legal. We got our attitude. We know our rights, and we're not afraid of the police. And we're just gonna, go for it.
And we got guns, and we let them pass National Defense Authorization Act. Matter of fact, you told us about that. We was in there sitting at the table. We already knew about the act, but to hear somebody else coming from another country to tell us they're more informed about what's going on in this country, when the majority of Americans, the only thing they care about is Jersey Shores, care about is the Dallas Cowboys beating the Pittsburgh Steelers or something like that in football. Now, they could care less about what's going on in their lives unless you're personally affecting them. But for you to know about the National Defense Authorization Act and then to see you get in the uproar over and wonder what in the world is these 360 million people in this country who have guns, automatic, semi-automatics. Some of us carry 2 and 3 guns. Some of us got 5 and 6 guns in our homes with an arsenal of ammo and stuff. And yet and still, 360 million people, we're being bullied. We're being overrun. They're allowing just law. You know what's wrong with America? I'll tell you what's wrong with America. There's not that same old fighting spirit that they used to have. You know what I mean? Yes. I'm talking about the people in itself because, they put in, and it is the truth. It is the truth. We have fluoride in our water.
Oh, we couldn't have that.
We get vaccines. And then they use the news media as propaganda to control the conscious or the mind and thought of people and anybody who comes out like myself. Okay. Now, I don't get too many attacks from people here in America, especially if I'm talking about issues that have to do with social, political, economic, or religious. I don't get too many attacks. First of all, the religious people, the pastors, the people in Christianity, they're scared to come out. Yeah, they're scared to come out because they know they'll be exposed for the liars that they are. And with the same way that I hold a passion of truth in what they call the religious realm, whenever I speak about other things, I have that same passion for the truth. Yes. And since many of them know that I'm a 10-year Army veteran, a paratrooper, right? They know that I'm not just, blowing smoke up their hindquarters. I'm not just, if I say something, it's actual and it's factual. Sure. They may not like what I say, but they know it's the truth.
They do.
And a lot of people don't like to hear what I have to say because, I'm brutally honest. I don't care because it's the stuff that we don't know that is destroying us.
That's right.
But for us, for y'all, we know that y'all had y'all guns taken away from you. Y'all had them taken away. And yet y'all still have more fight in y'all in that country than we do.
It's a small little thing.
Just a small little thing.
It's a small little thing. No, I mean, even if they did do something as sneaky as your king, as America's king, Obama.
Hold on. We're going to stop right there for a minute because we're going to have to define. So hold your thought about the gun thing. Sister Mya, now I told you, Pastor Dowell's been telling y'all over and over again, Jesse Ventura called it a two-party dictatorship. I've been telling you that we're under a monarchy.
Oh, absolutely.
We have a king.
Yes.
I don't care what anybody said. They just, the powers that be put different kings in every 4 to 8 years. Nevertheless, it's still a king. Now, Sister Mya defined for the people out here why we here in America don't have a president. We don't have a prime minister.
No, you don't.
We have a king.
Yeah.
Explain to them why we have a king.
Okay, a president or prime minister is elected by the people.
Oh.
Okay, so that's what that is. But a king is, well, in England, it's by birth and by succession. But what makes a king is the fact that they have the power to order deaths or land to be seized, or they have power, ultimate power. Now, we took away, from Queen Victoria's time, we took away the power of the royalty. They can no longer order our deaths, okay, maybe under the carpet, but they definitely cannot do it out in the open. They cannot have any power. They have no power over what laws will govern. So they can't take away land. They cannot take away your liberty nor your life. Whereas your king, King Obama, he has executive order.
Right.
And he just needs to write your name and says, them, and they're going to go straight to your house. They're going to kick down your door. They're going to grab you out of your house, whatever, with your wife, your children, even your wife and your children, and you're out. And you don't have, they won't tell nobody where you're gone. You have no right of redress. That's a king. Look up the history of England. That's a king. That's a king. So there you are. So you don't have a first lady and a president. You have King Obama and his Queen Michelle.
So let me ask you this: what do people? I know it's laughable already. At least I'm assuming it's laughable. What do people think about over in England when they hear these Americans get up on this TV and on these videos on YouTube hollering, "We are the land of the free and home of the brave"? Well, what is your personal sentiment and thought? And give me the thought of the country, world, over in England when we.
Okay, well, we in England we actually. I'm sorry, but we actually don't really like Americans. We find you brash and boastful and full of yourself, and wear extremely strange clothes. So that's the general opinion of Americans, and we find it quite quaint. And that's not a nice word. Don't want to be called quaint.
They don't know what quaint means.
Okay, we find it quite interesting that Americans have never left America. So many of you do not have a passport. That's extraordinary. Our school children have passports because when they go to school, the school takes them to France or Spain or wherever it is, so the children travel. Whereas in America, you feel travel is going from state to state to state. We always find that quite interesting because that's like saying, I'm well travelled. I've gone from London to Sussex.
Exactly.
So it's just not travelling. You just taken a train.
Or you went to London to Manchester, or from Manchester you just
that's not.
And you ain't really went nowhere. You just went right next door. Basically.
That's right.
You're still in the same country.
You're still in the same country. Just they speak different. That's all. So we find that quite strange. I think I would say that's a general opinion of Americans, that they're brash, they're arrogant, and they've got no reason to be arrogant. I think in terms of, to be honest with you, that there's quite a generation of people who there's a younger generation. I can't really say younger, but there's a generation of people who don't really, in England, that does not watch the television. They get their news from the internet, from their, outside the norm circles. I think in England, even if you do watch the soaps and all that nonsense, you still know that the news is lying to you.
Right,
you still know. You might listen to it. You might go, I'm too lazy to even find out the truth. That is true. But you do know that they're lying to you. I don't think Americans even have that thought that they're being lied to.
Oh, no, they have no idea that their conscience is being manipulated. I try my best to tell people because I've been to many countries, all right? But I try my best to convey to America, and the saints here would testify, especially here at Straitway. I try my best to tell us what the worldwide view is of not only our country, but us as a people. And, of course, it's hard for these people to even understand it because, when Americans leave America, including the ones who leave the country, they act like they own the whole world.
Yeah.
They act like they own it, you know what I mean? And the people don't understand that they see you as someone who is arrogant, has a high, lofty opinion, and really they don't care two dead flies about what the money can get out of your back pocket because they know you're so stupid. But I can't, I try my best to tell people this is the worldwide view. But America think they hung the moon. Literally.
You only reign supreme in your own country or in your own mind.
Mm-hmm.
Or certainly for England, we find you brash and crass and
all the above.
Yeah,
you got freedom of speech here.
So I would say that, but I think I don't get is because with that crass, brash arrogance, I don't understand why you just sit there while your king, stroke president, just takes away everything from you. I think it has to be something to do with the education or lack of education. Maybe you're not taught to think critically, or I don't know, because I actually believe that even if the government or whatever came into those people's homes and grabbed their wives and children, they still probably wouldn't believe that this bit is real. They probably would go, okay, it's all right, honey, just go along with them. I'm just going to call the police. I'm going to put my lawyer.
That's how a lot of people are. Now, I'm not that way.
No.
I'm not that way. I don't give a damn about a search warrant. I don't give a damn if a judge signs something. If you come on my land and there's no reason whatsoever, I don't care if somebody made up something. I don't care if you wear a uniform and you think you're going to jack up my wife and take my family, I'm going to shoot you in the face. That's what I'm going to do. And if not one of us or both of us will die that day, and we will both see our Maker. And one of us is going to make it a glory, and the other one is going to a straight, living, burning hell. As you can see, I'm cut out of a different mold.
Absolutely.
And the reason why, I'm going to tell you the reason why. I'm cut out of a different mold because I do use critical thinking. I use words like self-autonomy, independent thinking, self-government. Yeah. I use that, and I teach that to the people. And it's on many videos. I try to teach the people to think. Think for yourself. Use thinking because you go to public school, all this is government training camps, all the way up until and there used to be a time in this country where when one would educate themselves, they used to be, people would admire that. They would look at it and go, man, this is self-taught, self-educated person. But today, you know what the fear in America is? Is that the fear is, and it's sad, and it's sorry, it's because we've been having our mind conditions.
Yeah.
But the fear is, are you following me? Is that I may lose what I have.
You already lost it.
I understand that. I know that. You know that. You follow me? And I don't want to rock the boat, even though the boat is already rocking us. They don't want to rock the boat. Are you following me? I know it ain't no boat. I know that. The last boat was the transatlantic slave trade when we came over on the good ship Jesus. I understand all that stuff. I understand it. You understand it. Are you following me? But it's trying to get the people here. Now, the majority of people in this room who you don't see where it says guest, so you look at all these people right here who actually have names.
Yeah.
You see all the people that say guest?
Yes.
Most of those guests are people who follow me from a distance.
Oh.
The ones you see names, those are the ones we know personally.
I want to say to the guests, you just really got to get on board. Come on. What? I don't understand. Okay, when I'm listening to Pastor, I have my Bible. I've got about 2 notebooks now, because when I'm listening to your stuff, I'm like, pause, and I get that bit, and I start it again, and then I get my Bible, and so
check me out, don't you?
Oh, absolutely. I don't take anybody at no face value. Absolutely not.
And let me see. So you've been checking me out for quite some time too,
yes,
then, huh?
Yes.
And what have you found?
I found that you to be as honest as the day is long, and
and it makes you wonder why come people don't even want to.
Yeah.
Why not listen?
I mean, what I don't get is the people who know you're telling the truth, but they still go to church. I don't get. I'm just different, I guess.
No, you're not. You're normal.
Okay.
You're an Israelite. You're like these people in this room, normal. These people who are independent thinkers, they can actually process thought. See, again, the people who you see their names and stuff, these are the majority of them people I know. The saints here, the Most High know. These are thinkers. These are people who have come out of the system.
Yeah.
These are people who have just like you.
Yeah.
Just a few of us Americans. The rest of them go along with wind and tide. They really, truly do.
I mean, when I found out the truth, I think the word is rage. I mean...
You too.
Rage.
You experience rage too.
To the point where my boy said to me, Mum, when you see Reverend from our Methodist church, please be nice. And I said, son, I'm going to be just the way I'm going to be at that particular moment. I'm not promising anything. Not a thing am I going to promise, because I cannot promise anything. Because I started to think, well, maybe they're deceived. And then I thought, hold on a minute. Can they be deceived? If I have this information of Come Out of Her, My People, that book, or, Too Long in the Sun, or these works, and if that is available to me, then it has to be available to them. They have to have been taught to give an answer if somebody comes up with this. Well, why do you worship on a Sunday? They have to be given a counteract to the Sabbath. So if you've been given a counteract argument to the Sabbath, which is we know is a Friday night, Saturday, then they know.
They know.
Then they know.
And
after I realised they knew, I was just like, rage.
Yeah, me too.
Because I'm sitting there, maybe me, I'm just angry. With my boy, all bets are off. When it comes to every bet is off, and I'm there, it's just like, no. So I said, well, when I see him, we're going to just, I don't know. I can't even call it myself right now. I really can't. I can just pray for peace of the Most High, that I can just go about my business. But what I have found is that I haven't spoken to anybody in my old church about them being a pagan and it being pagan. And I never mentioned anything. I only simply said to the lady, well, no, we keep the Sabbath now. That's it. I've not had any other comment. Or, did you know that Christmas is this? Or did you know that Easter is really this? Nothing. I never said anything. Just, we keep the Sabbath and we won't be coming back. And what I found now is that I see these lovely children that used to be in Sunday school that, my son was in Sunday school with, and I used to, they used to run with, hey, hi, and they walk past me like, hi. I know their parents are talking about me to the point where they don't even know whether or not they can say hello to me,
right,
and not get in trouble or something, called hi. And they're just so like, I'm not quite sure if I should say hello to you or not. And I just thought, oh, your parents are sick.
Yeah.
They're sick. I mean, they're just plain sick. I can't put it another way. So I'm just, so that's what we've experienced from the people, from the church, not from the people then, but from their children who clearly are hearing them discuss us and feel strange. Should we speak to them? Should we say hello? Should we not say hello? I just think crumbs. That's just really wrong. There you are.
Well, I do know one thing. Yesterday, I believe that you went to the tabernacle.
Yes.
And you had an experience.
Yes, that was.
Oh, you care to talk about that?
Well, I went because Sister Kathy wanted to receive the Holy Spirit, and they said, I said, oh, okay. Do you want to come along? I was like, oh, yeah, I'll go along. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I said, what am I supposed to do? Oh, just do that. I was like, okay, fine. And I was like there to do the support business and to sort of like learn and do a bit of supporting. I did not expect, the Holy Spirit experience is quite, for me, it's like being on fire from the inside. Even now, okay, my hands, I was afraid to touch people because people will recoil like, oh, whoa, girl. And they'd rub their place with my hand touch because you're so cold. Your hands are cold. And I'd really not like to speak to people because my hands are really cold, but they're really warm. Really warm, just really, really warm. So, that was the experience. But I think that, deliverance and things like that is an ongoing thing. I don't think you just get, it's not just one to like, yeah, hey, I got that, woo, let me just go about my business. No. Every deliverance, I'll be there for deliverance, and and continue to go for deliverance until
get more free.
More free. Absolutely.
And if more people had that attitude, for sure they will experience more joy and peace.
Sure.
No doubt about it in their life, because they're beginning to understand, or at least you understand what's going on. See, it's through the eyes of discernment that we understand.
True.
And it's a very best. You're blessed to be here during this time, especially during Passover, because right after Passover, the first night of unleavened bread, what better way to get the leaven out of your heart and out of your life than to get spirits cast out of you that you don't want no more association with whatsoever at all?
Absolutely
Isn't that a beautiful thing?
Absolutely not.
So we're going to have a very, very wonderful time here at Straitway. You're going to meet a lot of people. You're going to enjoy each and every last one. Let's just see here real quick if we have anybody in the queue. There's nobody in the queue right now. Well, there's plenty of people in the queue. I haven't really opened up the phone line. Most of them are probably are chomping at the bit to want to ask you a question or something like that. But let's talk about.
I did a bit of research for you.
Sure,
Pastor.
Let's hear it.
Because I don't know if anybody actually understands what you're saying.
Oh, okay. So you're gonna bring some clarity.
I'm gonna bring some clarity.
Okay.
When you talk about the Great Depression and
by all means do that. I'm gonna go get some water, have some fun. So there's the camera right there. Okay.
Always leaving me alone.
No, I'm coming back.
Okay, so I looked up some information 1929 about the stock market crash in October in the USA, and basically it really only affected the USA. Maybe a few other countries, but the next 3 years of the changed forever in America. And from 1929 to 1933, these are the things that happened. We got the first thing is 6,000 banks went out of business. I couldn't even believe that number, 6,000. And that's in 1929, and I don't think there's as many banks as they are now, so that's got to be at least twice the number. And this is the thing that just backs up what Pastor says. 9 million savings accounts vanished. I said that, vanished. I couldn't believe that. It didn't okay, we're going to give you a little bit of your money back, or we're going to give you X amount of money on the dollar back. It's gone. That's right, 9 million savings accounts vanished. And 85,000 businesses went bankrupt. We're talking about in 1929. Not many people had businesses, or they're very small businesses and things like that. But 85,000 businesses went bankrupt. That's a lot. Okay, now you can tell the population of America was tiny because only 13 million people were unemployed. I don't even know how many people are unemployed right now, never mind in the Depression. And I think, I don't remember what the act is. I think it is the National Defense Act, which has part of the martial law, where it can just basically, martial law, where it can just take over your property. Well, back in 1929, 400,000 family farms were repossessed by the bank. And there must be many, many, many more now. 2,600 schools were closed. So those of you who really can't be bothered or just feel like you cannot homeschool, you're going to have to homeschool because there's going to be no schools. 2,600 schools were closed. This doesn't surprise me, actually. Admission rate to the state mental hospitals went up 300%. I'm telling you, people, if you don't have the Most High Yah, if you don't have a relationship with the Father, no matter how much silver, gold, or food, or anything that you have, it's going to mean nothing if you don't have a relationship with the Most High Yah. Please, please, really repent. Repent and just come to the knowledge that you cannot do this on your own, and you need to come into the covenant of Israel. It's as simple as that, to be honest with you. 2 million men became homeless and was just wandering around the country. I mean, you're going to need your guns because 2 million men wandering around homeless, that's going to be something. And I mean, this is going to be a drop in the ocean compared to what it's going to be now. The last statistics, suicides went up 30%. And that's in 1929 to 1933. So the one that just blew me away was 9 million savings accounts vanished.
Yeah.
It didn't gonna give you 20 cents on your dollar.
No, it just went away, gone, bamboos, no trace. Yeah.
And this is how it ended, people. Right? This is how it ended in December the 7th in 1941. USA went to war. Okay? And the factories that used to make clothes and cars then started to make all the war production.
Mm-hmm.
And you had 15 million Americans join the armed forces. Women went into the workforce and minorities. Because, all of this talk about the Depression, Black people, that's our lives.
Yeah.
There was no depression for black people or people of color. That was just our lives.
We're already depressed. We're already depressed.
We had no bank account. There was no schools. We were already unemployed unless we were somebody's maid, and then they didn't really pay us anything, really. So, hey, they didn't really affect us too tough, I've got to tell you. But, yeah, so that's basically when it really came to an end in 1941. And, it only really affected America, but now the dollar is the currency. So when they crash that, everybody's going under. It's not going to just be a depression for America.
Including England.
Oh, my goodness.
Because it's the world's reserve currency.
That's it.
And it's gone.
And that's absolutely.
Now, you tell these people what you said when you would click on my silver videos.
Oh, that's the only one. You and Jay Snip. I'm like, I don't want to hear. Stop. No, I'm not listening. And I try and find that little remote so I can just pause it and I don't have to listen to it anymore.
Yeah, me and Jay Snip.
Oh, my goodness. I couldn't listen to it because I didn't have any silver. And the urgency in my spirit was so bad that I just couldn't rest. I was like, by the end of the week, I'm going to find a company, I'm going to have me some silver. That's just the end of it. I have silver, so now I can listen to you.
Now you can listen to me.
As much as you want to talk about it, that's fine, yeah.
Do you have a silver eagle?
I only have silver eagles.
Do you only have silver? Now tell me, why do you only get silver eagles?
Okay, see now, the fact, I didn't need anyone to tell me this. This is my own thought. I think that if the dollar is the currency that everybody matches themselves to, then the silver dollar has got to be the premium one. So we've got the Silver Britannia, which is less. I could actually get loads of Silver Britannias.
Right.
But when it all hits the fan, that's the one that's going to have the premium.
Right.
And I know that I'm going to have three of those coins. I'm going to have that nice house. I'm going to have my small house, my little acre of land, and I'm going to live simple. But when it all comes to a head, I'm going to have 3 of those, and I'm going to walk up to someone's house and go, I'll take it for 3 of these. And they're going to be so happy to have
take
it.
it.
So that's basically how I think of it now, yes.
I tell you what, brothers and sisters, people wonder why come I talk about these little silver coins and stuff. And the reason why I talk about it is because it's in the Bible. It's been money for 6,000 years. And I'm telling you, they have literally just stolen your wealth from you by getting you to trust in Federal Reserve notes. The only reason why that you have confidence in them right now is because they're a medium of exchange that is accepted. Matter of fact, I just heard that South Carolina, see, Utah's already done passed a law that gold and silver is legal tender, and they're starting to trade that. Yes. So now South Carolina, another state in the union, I heard that they have done the same thing too. And more people are opting in this because since Barack Hussein Obama has been in office, since he's been in office, the national debt for America, $9 trillion. Now, I've been telling the people, forget them numbers. We're in $103 trillion. They just, and when you include unfunded liabilities, Medicaid, Social Security, anyway, don't worry about it. Anyway, y'all know the story. I ain't going to get into all that right now. But anyway, he is now the debt within 4 years of him being in office is at $16.4 trillion. Let me say it's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. $17 trillion. $7 trillion, excuse me. $7 trillion in 4 years is how much he has added to the national debt. Can you imagine if he runs and gets another 8 years, he would have doubled that. It took us 200 years to get to $9 trillion. You understand what I mean? And within 8 years, he would have doubled
it.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I often over here tell people over and over again, the reason why this ship can't stay afloat is because we have no solutions. The world has no solutions. I'm sure y'all experiencing the housing market over there too, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. There is no housing market. And it's stagnant because you need the new buyers. Not people like me. I've never been interested in buying a house. I've never thought of a house as an investment. A house is a home. When you get married, you have children, you need room. I've never thought of buying a house. All my friends, oh no, what do you mean you don't have a house? Oh, you need to have a house. I'm like, no. All I hear is 40 years of paying a lot of money. That's what I hear. I hear 40 years too. Paying a lot of money.
And you said 40 years?
Oh, well, because, it is 25 to 30, but because in London everything is so expensive, you can they say 25 years, but really it's about 30 to 40 years in reality.
Yes, 30. They do 30 years over here.
To pay it off. If you're going, yeah. So
And the interest rates high? I know they're kind of low right now.
It's
but
low.
At the time when the market was doing well.
Yeah, they were high then. They were high then. But I wouldn't really know much about them. I didn't care a jot about the market, high, low, high. It doesn't make any difference to me.
I asked you a question the other day when we was here, and the question was, I said, Sister Mya, so tell me how does the dollar pair against the British pound?
Oh, I make money. I love it. I make money. I make money off your dollar.
Are y'all hearing this? I want y'all to listen to this. Say that again, and now you have to explain.
Okay, I make. It's called a forex, which is the foreign exchange rate for money. So you just have to watch the dollar, and it's just so weak. And really, I just want to watch it so that it literally crashes and burns. So that's when I'm going to buy the dollar. If you want to be the Wall Street, buy. You want to buy when the dollar's crashing. Because I make, for my £1, it is $1 and I think 50 cents or $1.49. Yeah, $1.50. Yeah, that's.
So you pocket 50 cents.
Yes.
For every dollar.
Absolutely.
That you have.
That's right. And if you buy over a certain amount, so if you buy £500 worth of dollars, then you get a higher rate.
Whoa.
So yeah.
That's the incentive.
Whoa. So you can just make money. And because in England, if you go for a particular broker, and when I go back, if I wanted to change my money back, I can change it back at a good rate, or the rate there. So I still make money.
Either way it goes.
Either way I make money.
It's kind of like where you go short or long, makes no difference. You're making money.
I'm making money.
Wow. And that's just let us know exactly how that the dollar is just losing its way all the way across the board.
Absolutely.
All the way across the board. Oh, it's just so sad. Hey, I tell you what, brothers and sisters, we've been talking about a few things here just for a second. And we're going to open up the phone line. If you'd like to talk to Pastor Dowell or Sister Mya, the phone number here is area code 310-982-4226. That's 310-982-4226. I hope that we don't have any trouble this time with Skype, where we can actually, I hope that we can actually hear your phone calls this time. Man, we've been through some volatility ourselves with this broadcast here in the last few weeks. So if you'd like to talk to myself or Sister Mya, 310-982-4226. Sister Mya's been immensely enjoying.
Yay.
She had a little jet lag, like everybody does when they first get here. And we told her, no. A lot of people don't understand. I do more preaching in the dining hall than I do up there in that church. People are not used to that.
Yeah.
We're kind of personal here, ain't we?
It should be
personal,
and it should be that way. I don't see how the society, the community can work if it doesn't happen that way. I can't see how it would work. Because I think what will happen is people will get complacent. You'll just get complacent. This is what I do here, and you just moseying along with your little thing. You just need to be. Everybody needs to be woken up and shook up and kept on their toes, so it's fresh. And stagnation doesn't enter in.
Right.
You know,
right.
Because the flesh will be like, yeah, you know, I cook food on a Monday and I weed the grass on a Tuesday, and I, you know, so all nice little routines, and you can just get. I think once you get into a routine and you feel that that's your routine, you could then laziness can get into. So before you be like diligently doing your work, and then now it's your routine. I'll just get to that, and then you do it, but you're not as diligent as you used to be.
Exactly.
And I think that if you don't have that that strong, I think spare the rod, spoil the child, is it not?
Yeah.
There we are. So, and we're all children. And if we, you know, if you give us enough room, yeah, we'll just take it.
Sure.
We'll just take it. We're like, oh, hey, freedom, thank you so much. And I'll get to that. Before you know it, then they're going to get to that when they're going to get to it.
Yep, exactly.
And that's the human nature. I'm not talking about anybody in particular. I'm just talking about that's just how we are.
Yeah.
It is just how we are.
So what is the, I guess I'll say the number one Bible over in England? You know,
no, this is the funniest thing. Even when I was a Christian, I knew this one. I didn't, oh my goodness. And I used to speak to people, I was like, I used to call it that nasty thing. I just go, why are you reading out that nasty thing? And they're like, oh, you know, it's clear and it's the modern version and it's English and, oh, you know, it's a translation and you can understand it. The NIV. And do you know who has the copyrights to the NIV? Richard Murdoch.
Yeah, the owner of Fox News.
Yeah. Do you know what other publication he has the rights to?
The Satanic Bible.
Yeah. Isn't that just something?
It is kind of ironic, though, isn't it? Did you see my video on the NIV King James Version? I mean, was getting out an eye popping, eye open. Now you see the reason why Pastor Dowell is kind of hated over here, don't you? You do see the reason why I'm kind of hated.
I can see that. But you'll find that in England, what you will find is, even when I went to the church, I'd always had my own Bible, which was at the time I was reading the National American Standardized Version.
Yeah,
NAB. I can't remember how to say it, but that's the one. I never read the Bible there because it was an NIV, and I just could not understand why you would have that in there. And then I realised because they get it for free, so let's just all be lazy. You get it for free. Why bother? Are you nuts? The word. Okay, one of my favourites, you know, I love it. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word came down and dwelt among us and was flesh. And if that is what the Word is, why would you have that filth? How could you have that filth?
I agree with you.
Really? I was just not. So I'd get up, or when somebody was reading, I'm reading it from my version, and it's so messed up what they're reading. It's so sort of like generalized, inclusive. I'm like, Tate and I were like going, why is it different, Mum? Shh. I was like, it doesn't say shh. I know, just read this one. Because that, whatever they're reading, I know, honey. I know. Don't worry.
Right, is that bad?
Just read this one. And so he was like, can my mum do the Bible readings? Because, you know, at least then you're going to get the real word.
Right.
But yeah, so that was, and that's, I was actually going to do a YouTube about it. I was going to go to as many churches as I could and say, hello there, Mya. Can I just ask you a personal question? What Bibles are you using? Can I see your Bibles that you're using in this church? And I can tell you, probably 9 out of 10 is going to be the NIV.
I'm going to give you some business cards that were sent to me and stuff, or cards and stuff. When you get back over to England, you can go ahead and pass them things out all over the place.
Okay.
Maybe it'll wake up a bunch of people when you turn their country upside down, too.
Yes. Oh, absolutely, definitely.
Because, I mean, I'm sure many people have never even heard of being an Israelite, even though it's written all over through the book.
Oh, well, okay. So when we became an Israelite, my son was so excited. He went to school. He was like, he just couldn't wait. He was telling, he told the religious studies, they don't call it religious education anymore, they call it religious studies. He says, I'm an Israelite. That's what I am. And then he wouldn't have the word Christian attributed to him. And then he started telling everybody how those Khazarian Jews in that land, and he got really slated for them. He was like, people were like, you're going to go to hell or something, because if you're against Israel, then you are against the living God. And my son was like, I am Israel. I am Israel. They're not Israel.
Right.
Yeah? I'm Israel. And he's like, you're Israel. Where's your parents from? You're Israel. And they're like, what are you talking about? He said, you see, you don't even know nothing. So, you really don't. And he'd come home and he'd be like, he'd fling his bag down. He's like, oh, God, I can't take it. Oh, they keep saying I'm wicked because I don't support Israel. I am Israel. I'm like, honey, let me get you some water.
Yeah, calm down here for a second. They have done a good job passing a lie around the world, the whole world, hasn't they?
Absolutely.
We got a phone call here on the line. Caller number 864. This is Pastor Dowell, Sister Mya on the Straitway Truth Radio Broadcast. How may we help you?
Shalom, Pastor. Shalom, Sister Mya.
That is...
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, brother. That is Brother Austin.
Oh, hello.
Brother Austin, the heads
As
up.
I was listening, it was kind of breaking up, so I didn't know if I could hear me or not.
Oh, let me see. Our signal should be down. I mean, people are getting... I don't know. Y'all give me a radio check online here on the... Not the online church forum. Give me a radio check about Blog Talk. Brother Austin, as a young man, came in the way. He's a matter of fact, we just married him and his wife last year.
Oh, glory.
And he's in South Carolina. He heads up the Israelite Church of Straitway down there in South Carolina. There's about 10, 11 of them, something like that, along there. And Brother Austin, very powerful young man, loves the Most High. Lovely, kind of like you experienced madness, rage, just like we all have. Come out of the churches mad, upset, but now we're glad because, you know what I mean. Brother Austin, what do you got, brother?
I just wanted to call in and ask a question about London. I know over here, especially in my area, on every corner, you see these new storefronts popping up where it's cash for gold.
Oh, what?
Because they know people are so ignorant that they will go and trade their broken jewelry and the gold and now silver too for Federal Reserve notes. And everyone's doing it around here. You know what I mean? They're talking about how much money they got for their gold and they don't realize how ignorant they are. And I was just wondering, are they doing that over there in your area as well?
Oh, any kind of nonsense that America has, they're going to give it back to England. I think it's your little revenge. Yeah, that we have it over in England. Yeah, they. I think about 2 years ago, on the television, it was almost every other advert was a different company saying, we have the best prices for your gold, sending any broken gold, dirty gold, hardly gold.
Anything gold, yeah. Even if it's painted gold.
Even if it's painted gold, we'll take it and give you top dollar for, or top pounds for it, yes. Yes, we have that over across the pond, yes.
It's amazing how the lack of knowledge that people have and they don't realize, nobody stops and questions why all of a sudden is there such a big business for people to open up a storefront and sit in that store just to wait for you to bring your gold in.
Hey, you know what's ironic about all this is that you cannot go into those places and buy gold from them.
Oh, do you know? Right. I have a story about that. In fact, I was considering it, and one of my very good friends, I call her my sister, Young Ming. We've known each other for so long, and I said to Ming, Ming, I'm really thinking of selling my gold, and she was like, have you lost your mind? She was like, no. She said, you're not even poor. Why would you even consider that? And I was like, yeah, I actually don't need any money. Why was I considering that? But I think that's the power of advertising. You don't even need the money, but you feel like, okay, well, I don't wear this jewelry. I don't need this jewelry. Well, why not get some money for it? And if it wasn't for Young Ming, I would have sold my gold. And she was just like, have you lost your mind? No, you don't ever sell your gold, even if you don't wear it. Ever. So I was like, thank you, Ming. So I have to thank her for that, for sure.
I had to put you on hold there for a second, brother, also because that's some feedback, either coming through the computer or phone or something. But anyway, go ahead.
No, I just got this phone. I don't know, it sounds real choppy. It might just be this phone. I'm not sure. But yeah, that was just mainly my question. I can't wait to meet you, Sister Mya. I'm enjoying sitting here listening to broadcast tonight. And we look forward to seeing you in Passover.
Oh, glory.
You got a big family, sister.
Yay.
You got a big old family.
Fantastic.
And remember, if y'all calling in, you need to actually push 1 to let us know that you want to be in the queue, so I know you want to speak to us, because sometimes people, they come in on the broadcast and they just sit there, and I don't know if they want to talk or not. And then when I hang up the phone, I get a message, Pastor, how come you didn't take my phone call or something? Well, you didn't press 1 to let me know you wanted to speak. Press 1. But, again, what's amazing is you cannot go into those places and buy gold or silver, but they will buy it for you.
Yes.
And they actually rent a place, land, to buy gold from you, and yet and still, see, that's what I'm talking about. It never registered with the people here in this country.
Yeah.
It's just... Here the dismal ignorance is appalling. It really truly is. It's off the chain. That's what I call it, off the proverbial train. I don't know what to say about it except that when people have been fluoride induced and also been shot up with snake venom and monkey pulse, I call that too, and a cow pulse too now, according to Mike Holland. When they've been shot up with all this stuff, I'm sure this dissonance. Yeah. It's called cognitive dissonance. But this dissonance right here in the mind has had such a psychological effect upon the people that they don't know where they're coming and going. They can't think. They can't even rationally think anymore. They just literally can't do it. Shame. And it is a shame. Do you have anything else, Brother Austin?
Okay, that's it. I will confirm what you mentioned earlier. I mean, they have been talking about it for months down here. And the last I've heard, they are pushing to make gold and silver a legal currency here in the state of South Carolina. So we'll see where it goes from there.
Boy, they do. Next time I come down there where y'all at, we're going to pull the trigger. Not literal trigger, but we're going to pick up some old silver.
Yes, sir.
Man, these, Americans or something, I don't know. You just can't talk to them. I mean... And, I stay hard on Americans. You know why? Because I'm from America. You understand what I mean? I'm here. And I understand what's going on. But I try my best to wake up people worldwide. We got more people besides in London. You're the one of the maybe second or third ones that have actually replied from London, but only the first one is actually make a trip over here. But we have people all across the world that actually listen to us.
I can imagine.
They really, truly do. And, of course, then there's some still... falling afar off. Okay. If you understand what I mean. Falling afar off.
You gotta come close or it's not wide,
Yeah, you can't learn nothing like that. You're really, you're doing a dishonest.
Absolutely, you're just doing yourself a disservice. Yeah. You don't know when the king comes. Nobody knows that hour, so why are you testing,
Either you have the spirit of truth or you don't.
Oh, it's just
either you know the truth when you hear it or you don't. You understand what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Anything else, Brother Austin?
One more question. How is the crime rate over in London?
Well, I'm not sure how to answer that. Mainly because the police have been told to document every dot, every dash, So it seems it has the illusion that crime is really quite high, when in fact, actually, they're just either being told to document every dash, every full stop, everything, more so than violent crime. I will always feel a lot more safer in England,
than here in America.
Even a rough area in England, rather than America. Yeah, because it's just safer. Which is why you've got a lot of your American actors living in London, raising their children in London, because they literally can walk the streets. Yeah. Literally, and you can't do that here. So I don't think it's high. I don't think it's high.
Most people don't understand that, and it is the truth. I was actually safer, as well as my family and children. We could go over when we lived in Germany. It wasn't nothing for us to walk around town, walk the street and stuff, and never even though there was diversity as far as the culture go and language barriers and stuff, yet, we learned enough German that we could communicate. You don't need to know that much to communicate. But there's never a time that they ever felt threatened over there in these countries and stuff. But then when people come to America, you hear about how many tourists get killed
No.
Coming from across seas over here?
No.
Oh, man.
They never tell us that because it's obviously going to be bad for you.
Well, because they don't want people to be traveling. Yeah. They're going to tell you that. So, no, they ain't going to do that. It's all about that dollar, bro. That straight up dollar. But, so, hey, do y'all get a lot of vaccinations?
Well, no. There are...
Forced vaccinations of children when they're born?
No, there's a vitamin K one. There's a one that because children don't have that naturally, and it's something so they have that one. But there's no vaccine. No, they have the heel prick, test their blood. Then they got a little vaccine for some vitamin K. I can't remember what it is.
Yeah, vitamin K. Yeah.
Yeah, they got that one, and that's it. But if you have a home birth, then you just have a home birth. If you know, they'll get the vitamin K one, I guess, at home. But no, there isn't any of that MMR business. I think you have to be 1 or something like that to have it. 1 or 2 years old to have that vaccine. So you have to be an older child to have that vaccine.
So y'all, when the children are born across seas, they don't have to sit up and worry about getting shot up with 30-something vaccination stuff and children end up with autism and stuff. And
if you want to see blood on the hospital floor, you try and give our baby some kind of vaccine that.
So do y'all have a problem with pink slime over there?
No.
Brother Austin, I'm going to go ahead and let you go, son, all right?
All right, bless you.
No, we do not.
You mean tell me y'all don't have a problem with pink slime?
We don't.
What about meat glue? Meat glue? Come on. I mean, here in America, we got meat glue in almost every corner. Pink slime. Kroger just got finished telling people they're going to stop selling meat glue. There's been a big uproar in the country about this pink slime. Can you imagine? I mean, come on.
No,
Y'all not being regulated about everything you do? I mean, come on now.
Okay, I don't know what would happen to the meat industry and the people who do the meat industry if that sort of stuff was going on and it was found out. I don't even know what would happen. But I have to say that I take no chances. When I heard that, I remember the day I went shopping into the supermarket and I saw the meat under the cling wrap and what have you, and I walked through it like I'm walking through the shadow of the valley of death, and that's how I felt. And I thought, Father, I couldn't be a vegetarian. We just love our meat. Sorry, but I can't eat that either. So, Father, I said, Father, you got to find us someplace where we can have meat. He just downloaded into my spirit. He said, go to the halal butchers. Now, we haven't gone to a halal butchers, but that's the Muslim meat. They say their prayers over that meat, hence why we didn't ever buy that. But what I realized is that the power of my prayer from the real Most High Yah tops anything anybody wants to say. So that's number one. Number two, their abattoirs. I mean, their absolute abattoirs have no swine whatsoever. No. So it's not going to be like, because if you buy meat from the supermarkets and I don't eat pork, but that abattoir where you got your lamb from or where you got your beef from has got pork, and the same knife that they chopped up the pork with is the same knife they're chopping up, so it don't make never mind, to be honest.
What about is it illegal for y'all to go and buy milk from a farm or something like that?
Get out!
I mean, over here it's illegal.
So crazy.
They tell us it's illegal over here, man. The government passed laws. The FDA passes laws against people actually going and actually selling. You know that y'all have Amish Mennonites, right? They come and raid Amish Mennonite over here for selling butter. Home country churned butter. I kid you not.
Well, there'd be no countryside left in England because a lot of the farms do pasteurize their milk, but if I was in Kent and I said, there was a dairy farm, I said, you know what, I don't want that pasteurized stuff. As it comes out of the cow, it should be still hot, give it to me just the way it is. He'd sell it to me. He's like, you want that? I'm like, I want that. He'd sell it to me. No one's going to say no.
Wow. Woo, boy, we live in a prison planet over here in America.
No one's going to say no. I mean, I think we've got too much going on for us to say, well, we won't have that, basically. I think there's just too much stuff we've got to get, But to be honest with you, I wouldn't trust any of that because of the hormones that they inject into the animal. So I wouldn't even trust the milk that comes out of the cow that's not pasteurized if it's a cow that's been jacked up, as you say, with all those hormones and antibiotics and all those sort of stuff. So it'd have to be a organic farm that I could just get some milk from there.
Do you think I'm gonna change subject here just for a second? Do you
But
think,
I have soya milk. I don't have any animal milk at all. I always drink soya milk.
why do you drink soy milk?
I don't, because
Soy is a genetically modified bean.
oh, it might be, but it's better than drinking the cow's milk or the goat's milk that is in England.
Really?
Because I'd rather have the genetic modified bean than have the antibiotics in the milk.
Oh.
So when I need antibiotics, I can't have antibiotics because I've already had it from the milk.
Right.
No.
Have you tried almond milk?
Yes, but my boy's, he's got his little nut allergy, so we tend not to have the almond milk.
David Cameron, do you think he's going to get reelected?
I think that, over Ed Miliband, I think that's a no-brainer, but we don't want that Nick Clegg.
No, well.
God, he's just an idiot. I think,
I mean, the reason, one thing I like about the Parliament over in England, these boogers, when they get up in there and they have a disagreement, they're ready to go fist to cuffs.
Oh, yeah.
They ain't all about all this dignified stuff like this, not talk to you and stuff, man. And if they disagree with each other, they're willing to fist fight right there and settle it on the floor.
That's right. That's what we got Speaker of the House. He will go, order! Because it's just getting up, because they're going to...
They're going to go at it. They're going to go at it over here, man. These jacklegs. Phone number 310-982-4226. 310-982-4226. Going to Georgia. Caller number 404. This is Pastor Dowell. You're on the Straitway Truth Radio Broadcast. How may we help you?
Hello. This is Kenya from Georgia. And hi, Pastor Dowell. Hi, Mya. I hope you guys can hear me okay.
Yeah.
We can hear you.
Okay. Mya, you gave me a recipe online on YouTube.
Oh, you never got back to me. How did you find
it? Hello. You gave me some Greek yogurt. What was it?
Frozen banana, as much baby spinach. Yeah.
And the spinach. And it was wonderful.
Did you lose on it? Did you?
I can't hear you. I'm sorry.
Did you reduce, or you call it reduce? Did you lose any weight on that?
Well, I put it in the blender.
Yeah.
There's something wrong with the connection here, Pastor Dowell. I don't know what's going on. I can't really hear you.
Okay.
Well, what it is, there's a second or two delay. There's a few second delay whenever you talk, and then she talks. So, you have to, whenever you get finished speaking or she gets finished speaking, you have to wait a second or two to finish the sentence before you could hear her.
Okay.
Now, what she had said did you lose any weight during the Greek yogurt recipe that she gave you?
Actually, I have. I've lost 3 pounds.
I told you. It's the one, honey.
Yes. What I wanted to know was, what do you eat on a regular basis? I see that your weight is down and your skin is beautiful. So what do you eat?
When the time comes when there's going to be little food, I'm going to be okay because I'm not a big eater. I can't eat first thing in the morning. That just the thought of eating just makes me want to be ill. So I might have like a piece of fruit in the morning, as in morning will be like 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock. And then I'll have a cup of coffee or a cup of tea. And then I will have my green smoothie about lunchtime because I'm about ravenous about 11 o'clock, and I'll have that and I'll just drink that for the whole day until at the time when my boy comes home from school, and I'll make what I tend to eat. I don't really eat the rice and the pasta and that sort of stuff. You need to be breaking rocks, building houses to eat pasta and rice. I got to tell you, because you look at pasta and rice, that is sugar, people.
It turns the sugar in your system.
So if you're not breaking hard labor for 9 hours, you ought not to be really eating that thing. So for me, I eat a lot of shredded, I do a lot of stir fries. My grandfather's Chinese, so I do a lot of vegetable stir fries and shredded meat and chili. I love my chili. I put chili in everything, literally. So that's basically what I eat. There we are.
See?
Great. Thank you.
All right. Is there anything else?
No, that's it. Thank you so much.
All right. Shalom.
Shalom.
Thank you.
You know what's amazing, Sister Mya, is I tell the women in America, I don't have no compunction about telling them either. I mean, we got women here in this country that will out-eat men on a daily basis and continue to keep doing it. And that's the reason why women's size in this country is so big. Because they have this, we have this thing in our body called an apostat. And many people have stretched it way out and stuff, and it needs resetting.
Of course.
And
they should be fasting. Well, even as a Christian, I fast.
Sure. Well, that don't mean nothing. When they get finished fast, they just go back to feasting. It don't make no difference. We just make up for lost time. I mean, there's just all this to it. And that's I'm telling you, if it ain't going in, you're not going to gain any size. I'm sorry. It is just the way it is to it. My son, he'll flat out, hey, Chuck, come here for a second and give a little testimony. I'll prove it to you. Son, how much did you get up to at one time? Now, my son is, how tall are you, son? 6'2", 6'3"? 6'2". My son is 6'2", and when he had left home, he decided he could eat what he wanted. Is that right? He got to 273 pounds. And that's eating what he wanted. Of course, Mom and Dad has always told him, you don't eat whatever that world tells you to eat out there. But anyway, so Chuck said, okay, you know what? I'm tired of this mess. All right? So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to lose weight. What'd you do, son? He stopped eating. Say that again real loud so we can hear you.
Stop eating.
You stop eating. How much did you eat a day? Once a day. And pretty much, Sister Mya just got finished telling all you sisters the recipe of keeping the size that she's at right now. I mean, she's pretty decent. She's pretty healthy. Her bones are not showing. You know what I mean? She has a nice shape, nice size. And Sister Mya, she just got finished telling you that she, what do you eat? A piece of fruit in the morning.
I have a piece of fruit in the morning.
And then she eats a protein smoothie along about 1 or 2.
Spinach, frozen banana, and with the yogurt, fat-free, ladies. Fat-free yogurt. Come on, you don't need any fat in the yogurt. And you have coconut milk. And you put, that's so good. In fact, I miss that so much. I really want that because that's my thing.
And then
she loads of baby spinach.
Eats a meal in the evening.
Yeah. And small plate, ladies. Small plate. Or bowl.
Thank you, son. She doesn't look like she's starving to me. And I know you Americans ain't starving. I know you ain't. And then you get mad at me because you don't like me calling you fat and overweight and all this other stuff. Well, don't be fat and overweight and I won't call you that. Well, what about you? Well, what about me? I eat rice, I eat pasta and all like that, but you need to come out here and work with Pastor Dowell.
Oh, but he's breaking rocks. He's putting roofs up. He's leveling cement. Are you kidding me? Come on. I've never seen it. That's just crazy. And building picnic tables and I don't know what other stuff he's doing. And stuff. But, it really is important. And for those of people who love their alcohol, I like a glass of wine, I have to say. Mm-hmm. Remember, alcohol is a double whammy, people, okay? First of all, it's empty calories, right? So it's just full of calories. And then if you have your alcohol with a meal, okay, this is how it's going to do to you. Because the body says, poison, it's toxin. To the body, alcohol is a toxin. It's just as simple as that. So you're eating your meal, your pasta, your rice, and all this stuff, and lots of butter, whatever it is. And your body will go down tools and clearing up your food, digesting your food. It will down tools and it will rush to the alcohol and flush that out of the system as quickly as possible. Now, it also says, get back to the food later. It never does. Hence why if you drink alcohol, a lot of alcohol, or even just drink alcohol and you don't exercise properly and stuff like that, that's why you'll get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Because you're not moving.
Because you're not moving. And it will not break down your food. It's just going to clear out the alcohol. It's going to pretend it's going to get back to the food, and it never does.
It never does. And that's, here in America, meat and potatoes. They like eating a lot of potatoes with starch, which also turns into sugar into the system. And I tell people all the time, you can't sit up and eat that stuff and you're not active. Because believe it or not every American. A lot of Americans are hard workers.
Sure,
literally hard workers. Really, literally. Hard workers. And we work very hard here on this community.
You sure do.
And we work hard. And no doubt about it. And so people wonder how I'm able to maintain. And I've actually, believe it or not, Sister Mya, I've probably lost 28 pounds.
pounds.
And I'm not trying to lose 28 pounds. All right, I'm talking about 28 pounds, and I'm not trying to lose 28 pounds. But what it is I'm not consuming as much as I did when I'm really, really, truly working really, really, really hard. If you understand what I mean. And I move all day long. Yeah. I'm on the move. I'm on the go all day long, and that's the reason why that I can eat whatever I want and get away with it. And
that's not even quite true, Pastor. I've never seen like some big old plate or two.
Not me.
You just have a reasonable size food for a man, and that seems to be you done for the day, basically. And the good thing about Straitway is if you really got it right is that, I personally don't eat anything after 6:30. Yeah, I don't really eat anything after that. And the last meal here is 3 o'clock. Which is perfect.
Yeah, at 3 o'clock,
It's perfect.
Well, a lot of people, the last meal here may be at 3 o'clock, but sometimes when you go home, you go by these places, last meal is 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'll say stuff like that because, and I don't mean to try to, tear up the character of people, but I'm trying to, if the people don't get this painful truth, I don't care about their feelings and emotions. Feelings and emotions has done got them in the mess they're in anyway. They've been believing lies all their life. And you ain't going to get better by hearing lies.
Yes,
that's all there's to it. I don't care. You don't care, I don't care. That's all there's to it. No, I eat, but I just don't eat. And I don't eat like Americans eat, if you understand what I mean. Yeah. Now, if I want to, once I get my little place cleaned out, because my gym has become a storage room. Okay. But once I get that thing cleared out, because you can see the weights and stuff in there, and once I get the thing cleared out, if I want to gain weight, I know how to do it. I know how to gain weight for size because I know I'm going to be working, so I know how to do it. Now, I will eat probably like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock.
Okay,
you understand?
Because absolutely.
I want I want to be able to gain, while I'm sleeping and stuff like that. But I say this because I don't want people to what I see with so many old people here in this country in America. They suffer. They suffer hard too when it comes time for them to pass over. They suffer hard. And some people, they're just not living a quality life. By the time they're 50 years old, they're already on at least 15 prescription drugs. Going to the doctor every single week. It's just bad.
Yeah, it is.
And then the doctor's not going to tell them to change your diet and do nothing like this. Talk to us about this Greek yogurt.
Okay.
Talk to us about this Greek yogurt.
Right. To be honest with you, yogurt is a really good thing. It's really great because it just fills you up, but it has to be fat free. Please, people, stop with the fat. You don't need any kind of fat in your body, to be honest with you. Just a little. If you do need a little bit, like you could have a handful of nuts or something like that. That's good fats. But you don't want to. I don't cook anything in oil at all. I might spray my pan with a bit of oil, but if I'm frying onions, I just fry the onions. It's got water in it, and it will just take itself off, and it just keeps stirring, it won't stick. I don't cook with oil. I don't have oil, because if you put oil in your body, it's going to camp out. It's going to say, thighs, bottom, wherever. It's going to go, where do we want a steak? It's going to camp out on your body, and it will not pay rent. So it just will not pay rent, and it's going to be there for a long time. It doesn't take a long time for you to actually put the weight on. It's like that, but it will take a long time to burn it off. So if you don't want to do the energy, if you don't want to exert the energy to take it off, don't put it in.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. If you want to eat all this stuff, because a lot of people wonder about the French diet. The people in France, for instance, they eat a lot of pasta. But they also drink a lot of wine.
Yeah,
they
absolutely.
drink an extraordinary amount of wine.
Yeah. You have a picture of wine on. I was speaking to somebody, and they were. You in America, it's like if you see a pregnant woman having a glass of wine, you want to wrestle her to the ground and call it child abuse.
Is it not crazy?
In Europe, we're like, you have to have a glass of wine with your meal. It's red wine especially. It's very good. The tannins. It's very good for the body. It's really good. We don't understand. No one's suggesting that you go out and have a keg.
A wine.
Exactly. That's not going to be good. But a glass of wine a day, if you like, or at the end of your meal or something like that, it is good for you to relax. It's good. No, we don't understand. When I see that in films, I'm just like, what is wrong with those people? oh, you're pregnant, put that down. Or she doesn't have wine, are you pregnant? I'm like, whoa, we wouldn't get that from England.
Exactly.
We wouldn't get that hint. Because you...
But over here, they don't do it. Over in America, some of the women, they'll keep smoking cigarettes.
No, you don't. No,
they'll keep shooting drugs, smoking marijuana, snorting crack, and everything else. America's jacked up.
Ooh.
I mean, it's pretty bad. I mean, it's just a flat-out truth. It's pretty bad. Let's talk about teenage pregnancy for a second. Do y'all have a lot of that over in England?
Yeah.
Because this is an epidemic over here in this country.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Really.
Because they introduce sexual conversation and lessons in the school. And then they wonder why children are getting pregnant. I don't know. Maybe because you keep telling them about it, and maybe because you keep giving them a condom. This is not rocket science.
Well, the Rothschilds and all of them, you know this well as I do. They're all into that. They're the reason and the cause for all
Absolutely.
this.
The family planning is all to do with those filthy people who are... Family planning is just another way of saying, let's get as many poor people to have an abortion as possible, either whilst the child is in situ or before it could even get in situ. So your condoms and your pills and all that sort of stuff. That's basically what that's all is about, to be honest with you.
We had Brother Dustin with us today. We went and picked up some mulch. Myself and Brother Shane and Brother Dustin. Of course, me and Brother Shane, we stopped out. We came out of the thing, and I said, well, Brother Dustin, we bought us a couple of little packs of M&Ms. We know you don't want none. And we did. Brother Shane and I ate it. You know what I mean? We ate M&Ms. It was let people know that every once in a while I do eat what you would call junk food. Mm-hmm. But you saw me when I came in from music practice. Yeah. You seen I was sweating. Yeah. And all I did was change shirts. I really didn't go jump in the shower. But, my shirt is just soaking wet, literally. Because whenever I'm passionate about anything that I do, anything I take on, so I'm up there running around doing this, playing the drums, doing the bass. And I'm very serious about it, but I'm very passionate. And most people mistake, in this country, they mistake, especially if you're a preacher like I am, they mistake passion for anger.
No, there's a big difference, and you have to know the difference.
You have to know the difference. I wish a lot of people did, you know what I mean? But a lot of people are waking up in this country. They really, really, truly are. They're waking up in this country. And don't get me wrong, brothers and sisters, no matter where you go in this world, it ain't good. None of it good. The only place that's really good is the kingdom of heaven. Believe me, England, Germany, France, Britain, all of them, they all have their troubles and too. It's just that America, we the leader of the cesspool of hell. Everybody wants to try to be like Americans for some reason. I don't know why, but they do. I don't understand it. I mean, you keep importing your filth of... I haven't watched television for a while now, but when I was watching it, I was very selective about what I watched, which usually would be Columbo or Judge Judy or something like that. I was very selective. But even with my selectiveness, they would have adverts. And, America is obsessed with vampires and witches. What is your... deal with that? Every moment you're importing another film. Because Christianity is a witchcraft religion. That's the reason why. It's a blood religion. It's think about it. They don't even know the origins of Easter. That the reason why the eggs was painted is because they were painted with blood. It's a vampire religion. Look at the Catholic Church. Yeah. Look how many people they literally murdered in the Inquisition. Yeah, well. And the Crusades. It's a bloody religion. Just like the Australians would say, it's a bloody religion. And so all they're doing is just keeping up and keeping tradition. And it's going strong. There's always something true blood family. There's always another thing coming from America. Vampire witches or something. And I'm like, oh my goodness, you're just saturating this country with this stuff. Driving me nuts. Even if you're selective in your television viewing, the adverts for that filthy stuff, it just keeps coming. You can't even be selective. I don't watch television anymore. I don't blame you, because we haven't had a TV signal. We do get to watch. We watch what we want. If we want to watch something, we watch it on a movie or something like that. You understand me? But who would ever thought that how true that movie Matrix would be? From the moment I watched that, I knew there was something more deeper than ever could be. And you know that it was a black woman who wrote that. And the Wachowski brothers, it took 6 years for her to get justice because they kept saying that they wrote it. You lying. And 6 years. She wrote that.
Oh,
Did she ever get any pay for it?
Yeah, she did.
She finally got some proceeds and revenues from it?
Absolutely.
Because somebody tried to steal it from her.
Absolutely.
But it's the American way. I mean, look what America
did. They could never have written anything as fabulous as that.
But they stole the country. I mean, come on, America stole this country. I mean, everything. Look what they're doing now.
Flat out stole it.
Look what King Obama just got finished doing. He got finished killing Gaddafi.
Oh.
Gaddafi and stuff, and then Bush killed Saddam Hussein, had him killed.
Seriously.
You know what I mean? I mean, come on. I mean, this is American way.
I mean, when they were all up in there, and it seemed like especially Sky News and all these nonsense were saying, we're going to get Gaddafi and it's going to be liberating the people. I thought, you know what? He might have been a nasty man. He could have been a nasty man, but...
He ain't no nasty than George Bush and Barack Hussein Obama and all the 535 that are so-called elected officials in this country.
But you people who are allowing these Americans and these Europeans to come into your country and liberate you, listen, you're going to wish you had that nasty man back. He'd be a lot better for you than what you're about to have. You have no idea what you're getting installed for. You just couldn't possibly, because you wouldn't allow it. You'd be protecting him, even though he might not have been, the best person. But hey, who is power? Absolute power corrupts absolutely, and there's nobody can to beat that, basically, and that's just what it is.
Let's go ahead and get on the subject of racism.
Okay.
Racism, because I know for a fact that there's a lot of racism that takes place over in England, as well as here. It kind of flies a little bit more under the radar over there than it does here.
Yes.
Here, especially in the South, these people are something else. Most people don't like touching on subjects like this because it brings a guilty conscience, and most people not understanding, and they're not familiar with whatever sins your ancestors carried. You're going to feel it whenever these subjects are brought up.
Sure.
Because I talk about everything, the good, the bad, the ugly, makes no difference to me. If it's something that in my spirit that say, hands off, you should avoid or something like that, because it's just not a popular thing to talk about, you better believe I'm going to go ahead and hit it head on. I believe in hitting stuff right on because it needs to be, and because it's not talked about is the reason why people just don't understand it.
True.
Talk to us and tell us a little bit about how racism is over in England.
It's a very strange subject for me to talk about, to be honest with you, because I actually do not experience, I think I can count maybe probably about 3 times in my whole life I've ever experienced the filth of racism. Seriously. And one time that was an American nasty man on our British tubes calling me a nigger. And it wasn't even my own. It wasn't even, and we was on the tube. I was really young. And, and in London, we were all like, all the people were like, what did he say to you? What did he say? Dirty little Yankee person. Dirty little American person. Well, they've got no class anyway, darling. Don't worry about them. So that was one case, and it wasn't even British. So it's a strange subject for me to talk about, mainly because I suppose I fit into so many different worlds. If I've got people who are aristocracy and land gentry, landowners, peerage, and I know them, and poor, go shooting grouse in the country. Know those. I also know people who are like from the ghetto or whatever you want to call it, or from a lesser neighborhood. I find that I fit nowhere. To be honest with you, I actually don't fit in any real society. The white people accept me because, thank God, she can talk properly. And so we can communicate with her. I find it extremely difficult to be in the black society because they don't quite understand me. They'll say things like, "Oh, but you were raised in the country." No, I'm a London-born girl, born and bred, South London. No, yes. And I don't fit
in the paradigm.
Their little box of what they believe black people should be. And my parents are from Jamaica. They're country people. They lived in London. But my father was not like other black fathers. He took us out to the countryside and he made sure we always had a family picnic. We always went out and did many things on the 6 weeks holiday as a family. And so I got to understand England in a different light. I wasn't a city rat per child. I didn't just gather around the city. Mm-hmm. My father took us all over the place. And he purposely put me in a school that was outside of the particular area that we lived in. And so I mixed with different people. The school that I went to was not a private school, but it was the school that when posh people's families split up and the father no longer paid the school fees, that was a school you'd send your child to. It was the best past the others. So that's the school that I went to. Then I went to a top 4 university. So I don't really, so it's a hard question for me to answer because I experience more, if you like, racism within my own community than I do in the white community, even though I don't feel like I'm part of their community.
Right.
I'm more accepted in their community. I'm more, I actually am more at home there because I'm accepted, not because I feel like I'm one of them, but because I feel more accepted.
You know what I need to do? I need to take you to town with Sister Carol and I.
Oh, crumbs.
Up here in Lafayette, Tennessee. And
okay.
We'll come up here and we'll just hang out for a little while.
Okay.
Okay, let you see what's going on.
What's going on? That means
but I will say this. California or over on the West Coast, Sister Carol and I were very, discerning as far as spirits go. And we couldn't detect too much, if any at all, racism. Mm-hmm. Florida, we didn't detect much at all of racism. And we travel, all over the place. But when you get to places like Tennessee, Kentucky, South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, you're looking at the cradle of racism because these are the place where the slaves were brutalized the most. And, of course, this wicked behavior still takes place in some of the people that are here. But the people up north, we have brothers that are here living on this community up north, and they don't have a racist bone in their body. You understand me?
Yes,
they don't, and they don't understand it. Brothers and sisters, and they look at these crazy people from the South like, what the hell is wrong with you people? You people retarded or what? Yeah, they are retarded, literally retarded.
Yeah.
And I'm the only black pastor here in this county.
Wow.
In this whole entire county right here. And I'm not fond of, and I've openly challenged every single preacher here in this county. If you pick a subject, it makes no difference to me. I get nothing.
They're not going to come.
No, and the reason is because they're afraid that their people may hear the truth.
Of course.
And because they have it on lockdown, kind of like your Methodist pastor does, has the truth on lockdown for them. So they, do everything they can to try to ostracize. But, the word is still getting out. Word is getting out. So I will say that a lot of people in the whole, a lot of Americans, there are a few people, in this community that don't share the same sentiments. I grew up and I experienced just a very little bit of racism, you know what I mean, in growing up as a child. But I went to a school where it was predominantly Caucasian. It was 97% Caucasian, 3% black. But my wife went to a school, it was 60% black, 40% Caucasian. So we never understood that. We never had that. You understand? I mean, we just never wasn't that way. But then you go to these outback inbreds, kind of like the Jews are over in Israel, the inbreds. You get these retarded spirits of these people and stuff, and they can't help themselves because that's just the way that they are. They have these evil spirits in them, and that's just the way they are.
They're inbred.
Yeah, and it's just sad. But I just thought I'd talk about that for a minute because, when I made that video, Jesus was a black man, and, I disabled all the comments. Not because I couldn't take it. That's why I kept making more videos. Somebody pushed against me, I'm going to push back harder.
Absolutely.
But I did it because a lot of, some of the people who didn't understand the type of spirit that was coming from these people, they were being affected and angry and getting very angry in such a ways and stuff that hate will start to enter in.
Absolutely.
And that's the reason why I disabled the comments.
Yeah, can't
you know
have
what I mean?
that.
I disabled the comments. And you know what and believe it or not, I have, in this country right here, there are a lot of black people that are bitter against the white people because of slavery. And a lot of white people don't understand slavery because they benefited from it.
Yeah, of course.
And they benefited because their parents benefited. They have never had, we were promised 40 acres and a mule. We never did get it. We didn't start off privileged.
Yeah,
we didn't start off where they, millions of acres of land was just given away to white people and we had nothing. and even up to the 60s when they had segregation,
Yeah.
black toilets, white toilets, and stuff like this. Even to today, people don't understand it because see, when all their families was making all this money, we didn't get nothing.
That's
we didn't get
right.
nothing at all. We just basically, when he got so-called free from slavery and stuff, all we got was kicked out on the curb, and then we had to go back and serve again under the slave master, and then he would jack us because we were forbidden to read and write. You understand what I mean?
Absolutely.
So it's a stacked deck. So if you put, if you take a white person who's been in this country all this time and you put them on a racetrack and it's a 10-lap race and you give him 5 laps head start, then we start from the beginning at 10. We'll never be able to catch up. So that's, and then when I start bringing out these truths about what color Jesus was, what color original Hebrew Israelites and stuff, it's not because I'm being racist, because I'm being actual and factual. And the reason why I'm bringing it out is because this is a truth that the American as well as England have and the Roman Catholic Church is suppressed. They kept suppressed, and they've done it on purpose because they don't want people to really know who were the ancient ancestors of the people of the book. But neither do I discriminate against those who accept the Messiah. You follow me? He don't care. Seed can only produce after its own kind. So he don't care, but we do deal with it here in America. We really, truly deal with it here in America. But like I said, I guess a lot of times I'm kind of stupid to it and stuff because I'm just not that route, not that way. And I think what gets people on both sides, whether it be black or white, is that the Straitway Truth ministry, it transcends racism.
Sure
I mean, it's a well-diverse ministry. It's black, whites, Hispanics, Chinese, Japanese, you name it. Everybody listens, and that's the way that the kingdom is going to be. When we end up in the kingdom, we're going to be dealing with diversity of people. And I have brothers and sisters who have light skin color as well as dark skin color, and I love them just as much. And that's the way that it should be. And so we're here at Straitway. When people come here, they actually experience a little bit of I don't know what you call.
Well, that's what England is. This is England. This is literally like England. This is
how Southern California is.
This is like England because in America, when I was in New York, you got it's not just like a black areas. You got the Jamaican black areas and the black African areas and the Jewish and the Italian, and everybody's in there. That's. Well,
the one thing I do know is that, for instance, over in England, the white man is quickly becoming a minority.
Oh, he is the minority.
He's not the minority already.
He is the minority.
And I think that over here in this country, this is what these people flying under the radar. See, they do things, but they don't say nothing. But they keep it between themselves. But see, I'm the type of person, I watch what people do.
Yeah.
And then I listen to their words. And that's why, to me, a man, a man, they may think they're paying attention to my words. But if they're paying attention to my words, don't you think that I'm paying attention to their words? So I hold a man to his word. You understand what I mean? So I watch the things that he say, and I watch the things that he doesn't say. And it's that silent consent. It's that silent words that are not spoken. Are you following me? That lets me know what's going on in the heart. It's amazing how we can be opinionated about a whole bunch of subjects and everything in the world, but when it comes to certain subjects, all of a sudden we adopt a hands-off attitude. Oh, we don't want to talk about that and all of that. No, I know who your heart, I know what your heart is, I know what you're about. You understand what I mean? So I like actually talking about uncomfortable subjects because it displays the heart of men. We got another phone call here. We're going to call in number 540 from Oregon, all the way on the West Coast. This is Pastor Dowell, Sister Mya on the Straitway Truth Radio Broadcast. I'm going to help you.
Hi, Pastor Dowell.
That is Sister Marjorie from Grand Pass, Oregon, right there. Yes, we hear you very well, Sister Marjorie. How you doing?
Good, thank you. I'm so happy to meet Sister Mya. She's a very smart lady, very intuitive. I would just love to sit down and talk to you for days and days, but I wondered if do you have your own channel? Your own site?
Yeah, I do. Yes, I do actually. It's Wake Up with Mya YouTube. It's a YouTube one.
Okay, if you can put it up at the forum, I would appreciate that.
Okay.
Because really, you're awesome. You're an awesome woman.
Thank you. I have an awesome pastor, and my parents raised me good. Yeah, so so I think I've had an extremely privileged upbringing. I would have to say that we were never rich, but we were always wealthy. There's a huge difference. Yeah. So we were never rich, but we were very wealthy. And that's.
Yeah. just really, really nice to hear a woman that's so humble and yet so intelligent and so well-rounded. And, so if you could put your site up, I would appreciate that.
Okay.
And Pastor Dowell, thank you for that, again, that beautiful service last Sabbath. I can't wait till tomorrow.
Oh, boy. You enjoying? So, Sister Margie, you enjoying all these teachings lately?
It's been so, this last one was you were just simple. Not that I'm saying that you are complex in other times, but it was just so simple. And I guess after everything that you've taught, it kind of just brought it to a 360.
Wonderful.
It's like, wow, that's it. Why can't people get that?
Well, they got blinders on. Did you enjoy Bible study, scripture study?
Yes. I don't miss anything. I do want to make one comment, if I may, real quick.
Go ahead.
Only because I was just devastated because I'm working on my girlfriend little by little to at least get her out of the city. Making her, come out. She's not really a Christian, but she sends her kids to Christian church only because their neighbors go.
Uh-huh.
And this is truly unbelievable to me. I mean, I shouldn't be shocked anymore. But the church had a movie night, and her son is 13. And they gathered all these preteens in the bus and took them to go see the hunting game.
Huh.
Have you seen the previews?
Say again?
The hunting game.
I'm not familiar with it.
Well, it's a bunch. Basically, it's kind of like it's not really Gladiator days, but it's kind of take off from Gladiator. But all they use is children from 12 to 18.
Okay.
And if you get picked, you have to go into this realm of like a forest and survival of the fittest.
Book series, now it's a movie series.
Last man standing.
Right. Yeah, I'm not familiar with it.
Arrows.
Yeah, I got you, but I hear what you're saying, but I can't relate, Sister Margie, because I just don't know about it.
Yeah, and I mean, the fact that this, I mean, I shouldn't be shocked that this church did this, but I thought my girlfriend would have better sense. And then she's got a 10-year-old, and her 10-year-old wants to go, and her 13-year-old son says, Mama, no, it's not a movie for her. And I'm like, I didn't even say nothing, but it really is shocking. I mean, they're lining the parents are lining up the kids to go see that garbage, because they want to go see it, because everybody else is going to see it. But anyhow, Sister Mya will put her site up on the forum. I would appreciate it, because she just sounds like she's full of a lot of info.
Yeah, she's a very good sister, and we're just so blessed to have her here at Straitway, Sister Margie. Thank you for calling in.
Thank you.
Shalom, shalom, Shabbat shalom. All right. Well, hey, Saints, we enjoyed each and every last one of you here tonight. We really, truly have. We're going to go ahead and cut the radio broadcast off here because we only have, scheduled there, 44 minutes. So we're going to go ahead and cut the radio broadcast off here for the rest of the evening. And I appreciate each and every last one of you. I want to say thank you to each and every last one of you, especially those of you who are the faithful supporters of the ministry, those who pray, as well as send financial support by WePay. I see each and every last one of it, and I use every single penny for the work of the ministry. And I thank you for that. I really, truly do, because we couldn't make these things possible to bring these live streams, these videos, as well as the websites, if it wasn't for your contribution. And not only that, you actually help Pastor Dowell, Sister Carol, and the Saints of the Most High to buy a few things here on the land, as well as that to travel around for me to come and see you, and you. And, of course, you know just as well as I do, it's a great expense traveling nowadays. I don't care which way. If you choose to go by plane, car, train, it makes no difference. It's just a lot of money. And I really do appreciate each and every last one of you. Number one, for being faithful to the Most High.
For sure.
Because, you know, the institution of what we call offerings, tithes and offerings is still y'all's institution. Right. He hasn't changed his mind one bit. And the reason why Pastor Dowell doesn't speak much on it, and I hardly ever do, is because I'm really, truly not that familiar with it. It's just something that I did when I was going to church, and I just did it. And
every week.
Yeah.
Every
week.
I
never really even talked about it much. We haven't taken up an offering in this little tabernacle since its inception up here. But I do have Brother Roger, and Sister Bonnie is going to be doing an extensive teaching on tithes and offering. Like I said, I don't speak on it much because I have not spent the time with it. As a matter of fact, I think elders and some other people should do that, so I'll let them do that. I'm busy doing other things, like I got prepared to feed y'all again tomorrow.
Yay.
The word of truth. So I thank each and every last one of you for being here with myself and Sister Mya here on this wonderful Sabbath. We thank the Father for bringing our sister over here across the pond, her and her son, very safely and stuff. And we're enjoying her, and many of you are going to enjoy her as well when you come here for Pesach or Passover. We do wish you all y'all speed and safe journey. And by the way, don't forget after tomorrow's Shabbat service that you send me a message and let me know how the radio broadcast as well as the video feed is coming in your area. Brother Shane upload the videos so you can, if you did have trouble and problems immediately after the broadcast, or maybe about an hour. Give it about an hour and a half. Don't be on the safe side. You can see the rebroadcast of Shabbat service, as well as the Bible studies too. So, Sister Mya, thank you for being here with us.
Thank you. Aw, shalom, everyone.
Hallelujah. Y'all be at peace. Have a wonderful evening. Pastor Dowell getting ready to go to bed. B-E-D. That's just the truth. Shabbat shalom. Uh-oh. Look at him looking.